Our strategy is stated simply as we're building and have built a world-class development organization of our own. I think we're becoming pretty world-class at buying technologies. And if you look at what we've picked off in the last 5-6 months, and now what we want to do is be world-class in putting those together quickly and delivering that technology to the marketplace. And one of the things we built, you heard about it a couple times probably since you've been here. I mentioned it Sunday night. Ajay talked about it yesterday. If you attended the CTO event, was that yesterday?
CTO was yesterday.
Yeah. Don Ferguson talked about Catalyst, which is a platform that we've built all of our programs off of. We're building all of our programs off of now. And it was what allowed us, because we have this common platform, it allowed us to take NetQoS, combine it with eHealth as a new product, combine it with Spectrum as a new product, and then put all three together. And we were able to launch 3 new products in a 4-month time period because of having this base of Catalyst to build this off of. So our intent is to be world-class and being able to put technologies together more quickly for our customers than anybody else. We are clearly heading into virtualization management and the cloud. We believe, know, and are totally committed to that is the new technology in the industry, and we're an inflection point in the industry. It is going to happen, and we've committed the company to it. We're taking advantage of our legacy mainframe business that's very large, that we now have growing again at 1% to 2%, and it provides all the profit and cash that funds the future for us. As you know, we've got a very strong balance sheet. It took us right through the economic downturn, and we continue to be very strong in the cash we generate each year, and it allows us to invest in development as well as acquisitions. And the two of those together is what's putting the technology available to us to announce the kind of products we announced this week, to go into the virtualization management, security in the cloud, and cloud management. That's where we're taking the company. So a lot of the security we already have works into the cloud. We announced 3 virtualization management products on Monday, as you know. We have acquired several companies that are into the cloud management piece, 3Terra, Oblicor. We're putting more programming capability with those to continue on in the cloud management piece. So when I've talked to analysts, the mainframe part of our business will continue strong and continue to grow, and that's a solid, growing, stable part of our business. Then you move over to the other piece, which is all of the other management, both in virtual as well as in the cloud. And when you look at that, that's where our growth is coming from. And we've already seen the acceptance. For example, NetQoS, one of the companies we bought 4 months ago, doubled their revenue from what it had ever been at the highest point in the past in the 4th quarter. Nimsoft, which we had just bought even during the quarter, set a record for their revenue in that quarter. So we're seeing an enormous acceptance of the products we have put into the marketplace. And so the indicators for us say that the products we're putting out there are the ones that the customers need, and it'll provide our growth going into the future. Why are we back in a growth mode again? 2 reasons. One is we do have the mainframe growing again, and so that provided a platform of, even though it's small growth, and then the things that we have been doing over the last year or two in moving into these new areas and more into the distributed and the internet kind of management kind of areas, that growth then added on top of it and gave us a 3% growth for the year. We've said now that this year will be 3 to 5, and that over the next 2 to 3 years we'll probably grow high single digit. So I think stabilizing the company around the base of what our company is from mainframe and getting a little bit of growth out of that, and then being able to add the new technology growth on top of it is what's allowing us to grow as a company. As you see right now, the last 5 we've made are rather small acquisitions, but they're all designed directly for the strategy we're on. They have something to do with virtualization management, they have something to do with the cloud, or they have something to do with security. And so they're all that. And I think that primarily that'll be the strategy we continue to follow. We're not looking to buy revenue growth like some companies do, because frankly we think there's difficulties with that, trying to put cultures together and those types of things, and it tends sometimes to take you off your strategy. So I think we're going to be more oriented to what we've been doing as we go forward in the future as well. We're going to continue to add to the virtualization management pieces and continue to enhance features within that. We're first to the market with much of that now. We will add additional capability around some of the acquisitions we made in the cloud management, like 3Terra, for example. It works on Zen. We'll put it onto VMware and Microsoft V, so that we'll expand the base for that. That needs to be done because one of the strategies we have is to work across all platforms, so we'll extend that way. And then I think the other thing is when you step back and look at it, the security in the cloud is a big important area, the one that probably customers ask for most, more than anything else. So we're already working that direction. However, if you think forward on what's going on, not only do you have your application now sitting outside the main location, you have it out in the cloud, there's security issues between here and here. However, if you look beyond that, as this develops out here in the cloud, you have millions, tens of millions, maybe hundreds of millions of IP addressable devices like BlackBerries and other kinds of things that are now starting to access those applications out there. So the security in time, as this thing grows, needs to expand right on out to that area. So I think that the industry needs to go there, and that's something that we need to be aware of too, is that security now is a little further out from a glass house than what it used to be. I don't see a Symantec or a McAfee as a major competitor, because they're generally into threat management. That's tend to be more consumer oriented kinds of things, virus, antivirus, those kinds of things. Now they are and do work toward, but I mean, when you look at identity access management into the major mainframe environment, we're a major force there. IBM is to some degree. HP not real strong there. So if you look at it, we've got a major foothold there. When you look at SiteMinder for federation of identities within the cloud kind of area, we're probably pretty good out there as well too. I think the combination of those things that allows us to observe what is the technology in the mainframe and in an automated way move it into the cloud environment is a capability. So I think this marketplace is pretty wide open right now, waiting for somebody to fill some of the gaps, and that's why we're so focused on it. Because I think it's one of the things that the customers worry about is my data, when I get it virtualized, when I get it out in the cloud, is my data secure? It's a good question. I mean, if a CEO were to ask a CIO that question now, if the answer would probably be, well, I'm not sure, because I'm not sure I know where it is. And that's what we're working on. Sure, IBM, HP, Oracle, VMware. I mean, when Paul Maritz and I get together to talk about working together, we agree that we're going to compete, but that it's in our interest and it's the industry interest and it's in our customers' interest for us all to cooperate. And I mean, he and I discussed, my management software is probably better than his, even though he brought it across from EMC. He would agree to that, and so we're looking at maybe it would be useful to incorporate my management software into VMware. So we're looking at those kind of opportunities to bring things together. But in this industry, that's the way it works. You compete sometimes and you cooperate others. Yeah, what we were doing is realigning our skills. We are going so aggressively after these new marketplaces that, and after having bought 5 companies, we had a skill mismatch. We had a lot of skills that was on the old things and not as much on the new things. So that was just a shift of our people into the skill base that we need in our strategy going forward. We are hiring, even as we did that. We will have more employees at the end of this year than we had at the end of last year before the restructuring. So we are hiring. What we did there, though, was just reorient our skill base to our strategy. That's what that was. So it wasn't a layoff like some folks do because they need to take expense out. It was a skills redirection.